everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by head coach of the Hopkinton Hillers boys varsity basketball team, Tom Keane. Coach, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Coach, I got to congratulate you on joining the 300 club. You got your 300th win a couple of weeks ago. How does it feel to be part of the 300 club?
It feels like I'm really, really old, Tom. That's how it feels. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations. It really is a tremendous achievement.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And so the team this year, they are looking very good. They're just one win away from clinching a playoff spot. Of course, we're hoping for a couple of home games as well, but a good amount of season left to go. Can you talk about your team this year and the abilities of this group? It seems there's a lot of versatility.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun coaching this team this year. We've got a lot of great senior leadership at the top with Jack Iannelli and Logan Del Pont and Sam Pantera as our captains. Then we have other seniors that are great leaders, Anthony DeLuca and Drew Riesenberger. So we've got a lot of senior leadership, and it's a together group. We've got a lot of talented players that like to share the ball, and when you have that, you really have something that's special. We got a lot of kids that like to share the ball and pass it and move it around, and we got a lot of people who can score. So that makes us a tough team to scout and a tough team to play against.
Absolutely. And you mentioned your three captains, Sam Pantera, Logan Del Pont, and Jack Iannelli. Can you talk about what they bring to the table? It seems that they provide certainly some very good leadership for this group.
Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic leaders. Jack from the point guard spot. Being a point guard, you have to have a coaching mind and a high basketball IQ, and Jack definitely has that. And he gets after it on the defensive end all the time, and the rest of the team kind of picks up on that intensity. Sam Pantera is a 3-year varsity player for us who does a lot of everything. He drives hard to the basket. He shoots the three. He plays good defense. He makes the right play and the right pass. And then Logan Del Pont off the bench for us is definitely one of our best defensive players. A lot of times he'll get the best player on the other team to guard, and he's another energy guy who the rest of the team really listens to, and they have a lot of respect. And they have a lot of respect for all three of those guys. So all three of them are doing a great job as captains. They've really been a pleasure to work with this year.
Certainly a pleasure to watch as well. So this team, they put up on average a lot of points a game. I think it's about 70 points per game. But the other night, kind of a defensive struggle type of game against Norton. And you guys did end up getting the 46-35 win. But was there some frustration that there was a bit of a struggle offensively? But at the same time, it also must feel good to be able to win a game like that. It shows how capable this team is in pretty much any type of situation.
Yeah, it was a very unusual game. Something that I hadn't really been a part of, in all those games that you talked about earlier. Norton, to their credit, really slowed the pace on us, and we didn't get to really get up and down the court as much as we usually like to. And it was just a really strange game. We went down 16-9 to start the game, and then we held Norton scoreless for 14 minutes and 40 seconds, which I've never seen before. It was almost 2 full quarters where we played very good defense. Excuse me. So our shots weren't falling. It was the poorest percentage that we've shot the ball all season. But as you said, Tom, sometimes you got to grind those wins out in a season that's 20 games long. So, all credit to Norton. They did a great job. So, I thought it was just a tough game both ways. Both teams are playing very hard on the defensive end.
And I noticed Norton as a coach in his 23rd season. Mark Liberatore, uh, he seems like he runs a great program over there. Can you talk about your interactions with Coach Liberatore and your connection with him?
Yeah, he's been in the league for a long time, as you mentioned, in 23 seasons. So we've got a very good relationship. It's he does a great job with his kids. His kids are always ready to play, and they're well prepared. So along with me and Herb Grace over in Medfield, we're like the three dinosaurs running around in the TVL. All the old guys, all the
No,
white,
it's the three legends running around in the TVO.
yeah, all the white hairs left.
Well, Coach, it was a good win this past Tuesday, and certainly good to see that this group could win such a defensive game as well. One player who's really emerged this season, who's been very impressive, is Sam Dedejian. Can you talk about his performance and what he brings to the team?
Yeah, Sam. This is his second year on the varsity, and he's improved all the way across the board. And that's really a credit to the work that he put in on the off season. He's an excellent scorer. He's a great scorer in transition. He anticipates passing lanes really well. He's a very good passer, and he does a good job on the defensive end too. He comes from a basketball family. His grandfather was one of the best players ever at Assumption, and if you mention his grandfather's name in Worcester, like everybody who knows basketball lights up when they talk about him. He played for the Chicago Bulls, so and I know that he's a big influence on Sam as a player as well. So that's kind of a neat connection there. And Sam's just done a great job this year. He's leading us in scoring. And he's leading us in rebound, almost in rebounding too, along with Anthony DeLuca. He's leading us in rebounding as well.
And I know you got Dedham coming up as well as Ashland at home next Tuesday. Do you know anything about Dedham? What are you expecting in that game on Friday?
Yeah, I think Dedham will be a fun game because their record doesn't reflect it, but on Tuesday night I saw them play Medfield, and Medfield's having a great season, and Medfield had to hit a buzzer beater right at the as time expired, and it was rocking and rolling in Dedham on Tuesday night. I was surprised it was a Tuesday night game, but their fans were wild, and the game was wild, and so I'm hoping on a Friday night in Dedham that the atmosphere will be the same for us. And I'm looking forward to an exciting game in Dedham. And then Ashland's a team, that gave us a lot in the first game that we played them. We had a 81-73 game with Ashland. So hopefully we can get back to scoring and we'll have something like that again.
I know it's always a fun atmosphere when Hopkinton and Ashland meet up.
Yes.
And speaking of fun atmospheres, one game that I particularly enjoyed this season was a game that you unfortunately came out on the short end of, but as a Milford alum, Hopkinton and Milford, is that going to become a regular thing? I'm crossing my fingers it will be.
Yeah, I'd love to make it a regular thing. This is the first year that we had an opening on the schedule. Foxborough dropped us. So we were able to pick up Milford this year, and I think it makes a lot of sense. It's two communities that border one another and are about the same size and have great basketball players. So I'd love to play Milford. I'm hoping we can keep that going.
Absolutely. Well, you are in the same state tournament bracket, so maybe a meeting in the playoffs as well.
Yes, yeah, that'd be great. I'd like to. I'd love to play him again this year.
Absolutely. That would be fantastic. What a close game that was.
Yeah, it was exciting.
And speaking of the state tournament bracket, what's your thoughts on it? I myself, I'm enjoying it. I think it evens up things a little bit more. But what's your thoughts on the state tournament format?
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to keep. I'm willing to keep an open mind. I guess I'm more old school, Tom, where I like the districts. I like playing teams and trying to get out of your own area first before you play somebody else. Because I think that, like you mentioned, Milford, we played Milford against Clark. I'm sorry, Milford. We played Milford in the Clark turn at Clark. I almost said the Clark tournament. We played Milford at Clark in the districts, and it was in 2020, and the place was absolutely packed.
Oh, I
So I
remember
think
that
when you
one.
lose, yeah, I think when you lose the district games and the district finals, you lose some of those close rivalry games that are big games. And I think the other thing that you kind of lose sight is that if you get hot at the right time of the year, you can win the. Everybody's got a chance to win the districts, and it's something to say. But there's only one team in each division that's going to win the state championship. So, but I'm a dinosaur. I'm old school on that, and it's never going to go back. So I guess I got to just keep going with the power rankings and all that business.
Absolutely. Well, I'm finding that a lot of teams end up meeting up with teams that they met up with the playoffs in the past as well. So I'm sure you'll get some familiar opponents.
I'm sure.
But I have to throw you in the fire a little bit here with this next question. Is there a particular player on your roster that has surprised you the most with how far they've come or how much they've developed?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say that one jumps out more than others, and I would say all the guys on the bench have done a good job for us. We have James Marcinowski and Sean Brown and Gavin Cho, Emerson King, all of these players, Jackson Canales, all of them play a big role on our team. I know that sometimes it's challenging when you get to varsity and you're not getting as much playing time as you would have hoped for, but I really try to stress to everybody on the team that the importance to them and to our team. The importance to our team is not how many minutes they get, because it truly is a team effort every single day, the work that they're putting in practice. So I know I'd say that they're all growing and getting better every single day. And I really think that's important. And it's important to note some of the kids that may not be getting into the games and getting playing time are they're still huge contributors to a winning team.
Well, one thing I've noticed is pretty much everyone on the roster has been in at crucial moments. So I think you do very good at spreading out the playing time and getting the kids experience.
Thank you.
And I have to get your take on this since you are a coach. Bill Belichick leaving the Patriots, Mayo taking over, Gerard Mayo. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I hadn't heard Mayo speak until I was driving into work the other day, and he seems like he's going to be a polar opposite of Bill Belichick as far as dealing with media. And but I'm mostly a basketball guy. I'll watch football. I'll watch the Patriots every Sunday, but I don't really know enough about it. But I would have to say, one of the highlights for me ever was in 2020 when, unfortunately, there was the pandemic, but they had the Metro West Daily All-Star um, award ceremony virtually, and Bill Belichick gave me Coach of the Year. So that's something that I'll never forget, and I play back on YouTube every now and again. That was just a thrill.
That's incredible. Well, what a memory that must have been, getting the award from the legendary Coach Belichick.
Yeah, it was just surreal. It was surreal to hear him say my name. That was just something else.
Well, you're a legend yourself in the TVL, so it's one
Ah,
legend to another.
yeah.
But Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. We'll certainly catch up with you again down the road, and we wish you the best of luck for the
Thank
rest of
you.
the season.
Thank you for having me, Tom. I really appreciate it. And just before I go, I just wanted to say too, um, I know a lot of people have congratulated me about 300 wins. I don't like to talk about it too much because I don't want to tempt the basketball gods, but I do want to say, like, people like Jay Golden, who's been with me for all 25 years, and he's the freshman coach and junior varsity coach. People like Coach Banks, Coach Greco, Coach Chanless, all these guys that have worked with me and stayed with me so far, as a coach and on our staff. I've just been so lucky to have, and it's really a testament to those guys, as well as, like I said, the players. Because my high school coach used to say that no, he's never won a game, and he was a legendary coach. But the players win games, so that's the other thing. We had great players. So I just wanted to just make sure though all those people were recognized as well.
On Tuesday, January 23rd, Hiller Swimming hosted Norwood. Maureen and John were on the call.
And the Norwood swimmer.
Come on, Porvy, you're getting it. You're beating her now. Come on there. The turn.
Come on,
okay.
Porvy, a nice turn. You can catch her.
Oh, come on. Yeah, she's got her. Okay,
All
Maeve.
right, nice.
Maeve,
nice.
You're looking good. Looking good out here. She looks very effortless.
She does. She definitely does. But
nice.
They're working hard.
Yep, and that's Anna Burke. Nice job. And we got a third.
Wow,
1, 2, and 3.
Beautiful. Nice
the girls
swim,
needed
girls.
That one. They needed
nice swim. And
the Hiller boys defeated Norwood 85-73 and improved to 2-3 on the season. The Hiller girls took the 93-76 victory and improved to 3-3 overall. Also on Tuesday, January 23rd, Hiller boys basketball hosted Norton. It was a 23-16 Norton lead heading into the second half.
Hiller's working the perimeter. Iannelli driving in through a couple of defenders and goes up and in with it.
That's the Iannelli I remember from last year.
Iannelli up for the jumper, knocks it down. Norton here in this third quarter, 4-0. And there's the first Norton basket in quite a while, since the first quarter.
And there's 2:45 to go in the third. That's amazing.
Pantera with the reverse, count it.
Real good hesitation move. Got Ogilvie to fly by him and then went up for the layup, the reverse.
Willitson collects. Over to DeLuca. DeLuca underneath. Pantera, count it.
Great pass.
The Hillers grind out the gritty win versus the Lancers, 46-35. Sam Dadagian led the way with 15 points. Sam Pantera added 11 points as the Hillers improved to 9-2 on the season. The Hillers also followed up with an impressive road win versus Dedham, 77-51, and are now 10-2 overall. On Wednesday, boys hockey hosted Dover Sherborne Weston. Dover Sherborne would get 2 goals in the first period and led it 2-0 heading into the second period. At the intermission, assistant coach Derek Crow spoke with assistant coach from last year, Stephen Moonier, about the Unite to Fight Cancer fundraiser.
Hey, Coach, I have a few questions I wanted to ask you.
Good evening.
First question is, how has ice hockey impacted your life?
Yeah, hockey has been part of my life since the beginning. So I played in high school and in college, and I continue to play it today.
All right. Thank you. Next question is, what is your favorite memory of coaching?
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. When we went to the Garden last year to play Canton, and we didn't come up with the hardware, but it was a memorable experience for me and for the boys.
Thank you. Next is, what have you learned from hockey that you have applied to your daily life?
Yeah, I think it's just about perseverance. Being sticking to something and following through with it.
And lastly, what does it mean to be a Hiller?
Oh, I mean, it's everything. It's the H on the sweater. It's the green and the orange, and the camaraderie that we have in the locker room and on the ice.
And lastly, before we wrap this up, I just wanted to say, thank you so much for being such a great coach and a great mentor.
Of course.
I know I feel that way. I know all the boys that played for you feel the same way. So we're all here for you and pushing for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Derek.
Sent out. A little too much heat on that pass. Hayward up the far side. Hayward closing it, takes it, rings it in! And it's a 2-1 game! What a shot by Hayward, goes top left corner. And Goldstein didn't have a chance. The Hillers are on the board at 4:40 left to go in the second period.
Both teams net a goal in the second period, and it's a 3-1 game heading into the third.
Hillers need to clear the zone. Backhander, turn away, and then secondary attempt off the rebound. Andrew Martin puts it in.
Dover Sherborne Weston defeats the Hillers by a final of 4-2. The Hillers followed up with a win on the road this past Saturday, 2-1 over Dedham, and currently stand at 9 wins, 2 losses, and 2 ties. On Thursday, January 25th, Hiller Alpine Ski was in action. Here's a look.
Time for bib number 1006, Charlotte Richmond 30.55. On the red course, number 806, Elsa Woodbury from Hopkinton. Time for number 205, Ben Ellis 41.93. On the blue course, number 1007, Zachary Anna Priester from Medway.
For the Hillers on the girls' side, Lucy Mado ranked 8th, Annalie Krantz finished 10th, and Lila Mado finished 14th. On the boys' side, J.B. Flynn finished 4th, Blake Murphy finished 30th, and Patrick Meehan finished 33rd. On Friday, January 26th, Hiller girls basketball hosted Dedham. The Hillers were rolling in the first half.
Yeah, stole the ball and then kept it in with a nice save.
Grady feeds it out, and now here comes Restaghini. Pops it over to the left wing, up for 3, count it! Megan Grady gets some well-deserved awards.
Yeah, nice honor for her.
Davies feeds it to Restaghini, up for 3, count it!
Nice shot in the corner there for Restaghini.
Davies driving down, kicks it out, Flanagan for 3, yes!
And there's the open guy, right? There's the open shooter right there.
Grady to Davies, back to Restaghini for 3, yes!
Yeah. Still finding the open shooter. Good vision, everybody all around. They're patient.
Hillers took a 33-16 lead into the halftime break, and the Hiller youth team took the court. The Hiller girls would end up taking the game by a final of 54-36. Bethel Flanagan netted 11 points. Elena Davies added 10 points. The Hiller girls are now 9-5 on the season. Dedham fell to 5-8. On Saturday, January 27th, Hopkinton Dover Sherborne girls hockey hosted Medfield. During the game, funds were raised for the Stick It to Cancer Foundation to help fight and raise awareness about ovarian cancer.
These consistent symptoms are what pushed me to speak to my gynecologist. At that point, I was stage 3. I knew nothing about ovarian cancer, and it's events like these and the care of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute are the reasons why I'm able to stand here and speak to you today. We know there is no cure for ovarian cancer, but what we do know is that by raising awareness and raising funds, we are giving more women an opportunity to live healthy longer. Dana-Farber Cancer Institute thanks Coach Chin, Coach Messier, all the players and families who have donated their time and efforts to pull this together for one more year.
It was a scoreless game heading into the second period.
Warriors looking for another shot here. High slot, there it is, and it's put in. It was deflected in off the Cathin shot. Hillers Hillers need to clear the zone, and they will do that here. Rivera towards the net, and it gets in! Savannah Rivera! Well, it was a mishandle by the goalie, and it went right through the 5-hole. Rivera just kind of brushed it up the ice, and that slick, smooth surface took it all the way towards the Medfield net. Keane over to Barroso. Barroso nearly had it, just a tad too high. Here comes Gene, and there's a shot, and it's in! Matty Barroso gives the Hillers the lead. Well, the Hillers, they just kept the pressure coming. Barroso comes out and rips it glove side into the net.
Both teams scored 2 goals apiece. The game would remain 2-2 through the third and would go into overtime.
Here's Gene. Lucy Jean trying to sneak through. Puck squirts out. Takes a shot. And it's just wide. Back to the blue line. 12 seconds left. Along the near side, Medfield open for one last opportunity. And that will do it. What a game between these two TVL rivals.
Both teams had some good opportunities in overtime, but the game would stay tied and end in a 2-2 draw. Hopkinton Dover Sherborne is now 2-10-2 on the season. Medfield now 7-4-2. A very impressive game for the Hopkinton Dover Sherborne girls co-op team. On Wednesday, January 17th, Hiller boys basketball hosted Millis. The Hillers led 17-13 heading into the second quarter.
To DeLuca. Kicks it out. Iannelli for 3. Knocks it down. Exactly what the Hillers needed there. They were a little cold to end that first quarter. Iannelli down the lane. Feeds it out to Willitson. He'll launch the 3. Yes!
The Hillers outscore Millis in the second frame 14-7 to head into the halftime locker room up 31-20.
Iannelli with it. Gets it out to Willitson for 3. Yes! Cooper Willitson. Dejan down the lane through the defenders. Hits the bucket and draws the foul.
Hillers offense outscores Millis 21-17 in the third quarter and would end up taking the game 68-41. The Hiller boys improved to 8-2 on the season. On Thursday, January 18th, Hiller Alpine Ski took the slopes.
Time for event number 1002, Elizabeth Kenny, 28.47 on the blue course. Number 802, Lila Mono from Hopkinton.
Rankings for the Hillers included, on the boys' side, J.B. Flynn ranked 7th, Barry O'Brien 15th, Patrick Meehan 22nd. On the girls' side, Lucy Mado 9th, Lila Mado 17th, and Annalie Krantz 19th. On Friday, January 19th, Hiller girls basketball hosted Bellingham. Principal Evan Bishop and myself were on the call. The Hiller girls knocked down some threes in the first half.
Over. Restaghini up top. And now a 3 attempt, and it's good.
Grady?
Megan Grady feeling it.
That's how to get the offense going again.
Over the corner, up for 3. Yes.
Grady.
Megan Grady. Back to Flynn again. Paharik now. Over to the corner, up for 3. Yes.
Oh, she's hot.
Megan Grady feeling it.
Yep. Nice seal off screen right there from Whiteman Krause, too, on the low block.
There is Elder, and it's collected by Whiteman Krause. Here comes the Hillers. Paharik to Grady. Grady for 3. Yes. Megan Grady from the left side.
The Hillers led 21-10 at the half and ended up taking the win 45-33. The Hiller girls snap a 2-game losing streak and improve to 8-4 on the season. On Saturday, January 20th, Hiller girls hockey hosted East Bridgewater. It was a scoreless game late in the third period.
Getting in the way, Perdoni. McPherson sends it to the slot, and a backhander. Good save off the Grotman shot by Riley Cholera. Ready for it. Oh, it's put in! What a shot there by Lucy Jean. Right off the face-off.
Can't go any better than that, right off the face-off. Looks like Spooner was a little bit stunned by that shot.
I was a little bit stunned by that shot. The score comes at 3:08 left to go in the third period, and Hopkinton DS able to take advantage of the power play.
Absolutely.
Over Finnegan, back to Jean. Jean and Finnegan. Finnegan puts it towards the net, turned away. Secondary shot, it's in! Goal for the Hillers! And that was Maddie Barroso making it 2-0.
Another power play goal, Tom. Just goes to show you those penalties can be costly.
The Hillers net 2 goals in the final 3 minutes and 8 seconds and take the win over East Bridgewater 2-0. The Hillers improved to 2-10-1 overall.
Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by head coach of the Hopkinton Hillers girls varsity basketball team, Mike Greco. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show today. Your team having a terrific season. Most of the roster is returnees from last year, and after a 4-16 season last year, you guys have started off 6-2. How are you feeling about this team, and what's it been like to work with this group?
Feeling great about them. Obviously we didn't get as many wins as we were hoping for last year, but I think that the group that returned grew up a lot last year. Some of those lessons that you just kind of have to learn by going through, adjusting to the speed of the varsity game. A lot of those kids, the previous year weren't necessarily earning a ton of minutes. And they were kind of thrust into major roles and, sort of had to adjust to that on the fly. And this year, they've hit the ground running. We are experienced. Everybody there has got, significant varsity minutes in the past. And, it's kind of made the jump to, the physicality and the speed of the game. And so, we got low numbers, but we are excited to be there every day. And it's been a lot of fun to work with this group.
And it must make you feel good as a coach to see such improvement in these players.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. The difference in chemistry, I think, has been off the charts. That they're really buying into the we over me attitude of team first, and they're playing great basketball together right now.
And Coach, tonight you will be taking on the number 1 ranked in D3 Medway Mustangs. The Hopkinton girls, they're ranked number 8 in Division 2. And it's always a close game, it seems, when Medway and Hopkinton meet up on the basketball courts, whether it's on the boys' side or the girls' side. But Medway has gotten the best of Hopkinton in the last 6 girls' meetings. They're all close games, but Medway, they're on a 6-game winning streak. Do you think you guys are going to break that tonight?
We're going to try real hard. It should be a good game. Medway's obviously a very good program. They've been, up at the top of the D3 power rankings for several years now. They've had some very, very good teams over the years. They've certainly had our number lately. Hopefully we can change that tonight.
Absolutely. And this year's captains bring some good experience to the table. Elena Davies, Bethel Flanagan, Kate Finnegan, and Caroline Keane. Can you talk a bit about what it's been like to work with them and their leadership on the team this year?
Yeah, the four seniors have been they've been fantastic. They've been great captains. They all have their own sort of different leadership styles. Some are more vocal, some lead more by example. But they complement each other well. They're just as close off the court as they are on it. They really do a great job of setting the tone and sort of being ambassadors of that we over me culture. That we've really established this season. It's been I've had most of them for the last 3 seasons, and I can't believe that's coming to an end in a month or so. But we really enjoy having them.
Well, hopefully there'll be a nice long playoff run for them too, but we still got a lot more season to go. Is there any particular player on the team that has especially surprised you with how much they have improved?
Yeah, the one that comes to mind is our point guard, Elena Davies. She was, a big contributor for us last year, but the difference in her game between last year and this year, in doing all the little things, all the intangibles, she has shown so much poise playing the point for us, handling pressure from other teams, getting us organized. She's really, transformed herself into one of those players that we just almost never want to take her off the floor.
Yeah, she has been terrific this season. And you got a couple of great sophomores on the team, Tegan Restaghini and Sophia Whitman-Kraus. Can you talk about the performance of those two? They've played some big roles in many of these games this season.
Yeah, they've been great. Tegan, is a talented offensive player that has really excelled in getting to the rim. She works on her game tirelessly. She's always the one staying after practice to shoot. She's what you'd call a real basketball key that just loves the game and works on it all the time. And I think she made the jump last year from playing 8th grade basketball to varsity pretty successfully. And her game just continued to grow, and she's obviously been a big part of our success this season as our leading scorer and one of our leading rebounders. Sophia is just a tremendous athlete. She's another kid that just loves basketball. She works on it all the time in the off season. She's really developed solid footwork in the post. And I think that just based on, her work ethic and her athleticism, the potential she has to grow as a basketball player is huge.
Yeah, this program seems every year they're finding great young players. How's the JV team looking this year? I've caught some glimpses of their games, and they've picked up a few impressive wins. How are they doing?
Yeah, they're playing super hard. They look like they're having a ton of fun with Coach Pucci and Coach Gallagher down there. They just picked up a big overtime win, great overtime win against Dover, which was a tremendous game. But even in the games that they've come up on the short end, they're playing extremely hard and working hard through everything they do.
And Coach, the team, they took home the Mary Corby Holiday Tournament title this year. A very impressive title to win. You got 3 other tough teams fighting for it: Algonquin, Milford, and Westboro. Can you talk about that accomplishment? And can you explain the Mary Corby Tournament for those that don't know a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was that win meant a lot to us and to our program. The Mary Corby Invitational Tournament is designed as a fundraiser for the Mary Corby Memorial Scholarship. Anybody who's not familiar with Mary Corby, she was the mother of Callie Corby, who played for me my first couple of years taking over the girls' varsity job. Her son Cooper played for me when I was coaching the boys JV team and helping out the boys varsity team. And her oldest daughter, Michaela, I actually had in class years ago. So I've known them for a long time. And Mary was a tremendous coach, huge influence on Hopkinton basketball at all levels. Was one of those players and coaches that, always emphasized the importance of being a great teammate, being a leader, being selfless, hard work. And so, we felt that when the opportunity arose for us to have a home holiday tournament, over the winter break, that, there was really no other, fund or scholarship or charity that we felt was more fitting, based on her influence in Hopkins basketball and, my personal ties, to the Corby family. And so it's really turned into a really nice event. Callie is now our 8th grade coach. She graduated here in 2018. Every year that we run it, the whole Corby family comes back and they run concessions and they do a 50-50 raffle. And it's been a really nice way to fundraise for that scholarship that every year goes out to graduating Hopkinton senior athletes that sort of exemplify the ideals that Mary was so well known for.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you and the team on winning that tournament. And lastly, Coach, I have to ask, since you're a coach, what's your thoughts on the departure of Coach Bill Belichick from the Patriots?
Man. Bittersweet, I think. I really wanted to see him beat Shula's record in the Patriot, on the Patriot sideline there. At the same time, it seems that they were both in agreement, and it was, one of the rare, true mutual parting of ways there. I just saw this morning that, Gerard Mayo is picking up the reins, and so I'm excited to see what he can bring. I'm looking forward to the draft in April, see what we do with that number 3 pick.
And I believe he's going to be the youngest coach in the NFL now, so that should be it.
He is. But I'll root for for Coach Belichick anywhere he goes, until he pays the Patriots.
Absolutely. I think most Patriots, when Brady went to the Buccaneers, they were kind of rooting for the Buccaneers as well. I know I was.
Same way.
And I think it'll be the same with Belichick. But, Coach, we wish you the best of luck tonight in Medway. We wish we could be there, but we'll be covering the boys' game, but we'll certainly be keeping an eye on how you guys do, and we look forward to catching up with you guys next week. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for having me.
On Tuesday, January 9th, Hiller Swimming hosted Dedham. Maureen and John Belger were on the call.
Nice. 5.5. And did you hear the second score? 5.5, 5.5. Six and 1/2, 6 for Eve. Very nice. All right. Come on, Maya. All right, very nice. Finishing strong. Come on, Natalie. Come on, Caleb. All right, so Caleb is a senior, as we said, and a captain. Jack Kelly is a junior, and Samartha is a freshman here on the team. Nice swim by Caleb Burke.
The Hiller boys took the 82-41 victory, grabbing their first win of the season. They are now 1-3. Hiller girls fell to Dedham 78-97. Hiller girls are now 2-2 on the season. Also that Tuesday, Hiller girls basketball hosted Dover Sherborne. Steve Spector and myself were on the call. It was a 9-6 Hiller lead heading into the second quarter.
Here's Paharic. Davies now.
Gets it out to Flanagan, down the lane, past the defender, count it.
Tough one. Left-handed. On the change of possession down here, they are always looking for a double and a trap, and they've had a handful of
Hills for three, yes. Erica Hills knocks it down, and we're knotted up at 15 apiece.
Good game.
Up for three is Restagini. That's no good. Ends up in the arms of Paharic.
Yes.
Down the lane, yes.
Big one, and that'll do it.
Good finish for the Hillers. Another back and forth quarter. Hillers led it 21-17 heading into the third quarter. Certainly is, and you'd expect a timeout relatively soon if this Hiller momentum keeps up, and it will keep up in a big way. Finnegan with her second bucket of the third quarter. Hills with it, gets it over to Leah Hills, now coming in from the corner, stripped away.
There it is.
Hillers have it. Davies feeds it to Restagini. Restagini to the rack, up and in with the left hand she goes.
Big hoop, big hoop.
Hillers outscored Dover Sherborne in the third quarter, 14-2. Dominant defense and good shooting would propel the Hillers to grab the win over Dover Sherborne, 42-28. Hillers improved to 7-2 with the win. The Hillers followed up with a 51-36 road loss against a tough Medway team and currently stand at 7-3 overall. On Wednesday, January 10th, Hiller Wrestling hosted Norton in their Senior Day match. Here's a look. Norton ended up winning a very good battle, 40-42. Hiller Wrestling is now 1-3 on the season and has a number of big tournaments coming up. Congratulations to the seniors. Also that Wednesday, Hiller Boys Hockey hosted a very young Bellingham team, and the Hillers got things going early.
Now it's working. Gervais has it, able to send it out, but sends it to Merkel, who puts it in, and the Hillers strike back. Into the neutral zone is Merkel. Here comes Hayward. Hayward racing in towards the net, backhands it, 5-hole, go Hillers! Here comes Resnick. Sends it over, Ian Tosca with a backhander. And that is going to be another goal. Whitey and Tosca backhands it in. Works out. Merkel slices it up the ice to Adams. He has a breakaway. Closing in. Backhander. He pops it in. What a beauty from Jake Adams.
Hillers outscore Bellingham 4-1 in the first period and take the game by a final of 10-2. Hiller boys also followed up with a 3-2 road win over Norton and currently stand at 7 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties on the season. On Thursday, January 11th, Hiller Alpine Ski participated in their first meet of the year. Here's a look.
Time for bid number 1012. Sophia White, 33.96 on the red course. Number 812, Lucy Graham from Hopkinton. Time and number 415, Nikita Metcalf, 27.76. On the blue course, number 113, Scott Cronin from St. John's.
For the Hillers on the girls' side, Annalie Krantz finished 3rd place, Lucy Mado finished 11th, and Lila Mado finished 13th place. On the boys' side, JB Flynn finished 11th place, Barry O'Brien finished 15th, and Patrick Meehan finished 24th. On Friday, January 12th, the 5-2 Hiller boys basketball team battled the 4-4 Medway Mustangs in a cross-TVL matchup.
With a pair of defenders on him, having a little trouble, gets it away, ball knocked away, and a turnover for the Hillers. Pantera to the rack, count it. And Ellie taking it up over to Marcinowski. Back to the wing, long three, Pantera, yes! Sam Pantera knocking down his 2nd 3 of the game.
The Hillers outscored Medway in a backhand 4th first quarter, 17-15.
Iannelli behind the back dribble. Feeds it to Williston. Now Pantera along the corner, drives baseline. Great feed to Del Ponte, who lays it in off the fingertips. Iannelli over to Dedejian. Down the lane, feeds it over, up, and no good there. Grabs the rebound, Marcinowski for the putback. That's no good, batted in the air, and Pantera puts it back up, no good. Puts it up a 3rd time, no good. Hillers still have it as it's collected by Cho. Dedejian driving in for the jumper, and they get the bucket. Wow!
Another back-end 4th quarter. In the 2nd frame, Hillers outscored Medway 15-11 and led 32-26 heading into the 2nd half.
Really a little bit more of a defensive affair, as you would expect from a good defending team like Medway. Del Ponte for 3, count it! Kept in play, but the Hillers collect. It was good hustle by Parlin, but no one there for Medway. Iannelli knocks down a 3!
Hillers open it up in the 3rd quarter and outscore Medway 21-14. Heading into the 4th quarter, it was a 53-40 Hiller lead, and that would prove to be too much for Medway to overcome as the Hillers took the win 72-56. The Hiller boys improved to 6-2 on the season, and a big congratulations to Hopkinton Hillers boys basketball head coach Tom Keane, who earned his 300th career win with the victory, a tremendous accomplishment by Coach Keane. On Saturday, January 13th, Hillers Dover Sherborne Girls Co-op Hockey hosted Ursuline Academy. The Hillers fell early 1-0, but came back in a big way.
Approaching out in front, backhander, and it is put in. Barroso on the 3rd attempt, able to backhand it in glove side. Sent out by Bent. Here come the Hillers. Lucy Jean is going to get it over to Barroso, and Barroso chips it in. Just a beauty of a feed. Perdoni flying up the ice. Approaching, backhander, count it! Reese Perdoni! Reese Perdoni out of Dover Sherborne, flew right up the far side, gets in front of the net, backhands it 5-hole. A 3-1 Hiller lead.
The Hillers strike for 3 goals in the first period and took a 3-1 lead heading into the 2nd period.
Matched up with Zarcy. Zarcy comes away with it, sends it over to Clifford. Clifford takes a shot and puts it in.
Ursuline Academy gets one back, and it's a 3-2 Hopkinton DS lead heading into the 3rd period.
Along the far side, here she goes. Flying up the ice, towards the net, takes it, yes! Lucy Jean gets the breakaway and puts it in.
Lucy Jean strikes with the finisher, and Hopkinton Dover Sherborne picks up the 4-2 win. Hillers collect their first win of the season and now stand at 1-9-1 overall. Congratulations to first-year head coach Ron Chin on his first career win at the helm. On Wednesday, January 3rd, the Hillers had their first games of 2024. Girls basketball hosted Holliston. Steve Spector and Mike Tarosian were on the call.
Three-pointer, it's good. Tegan Restaghini. The deep three off the front of the rim, no good. Hopkinton, Caroline's got the lane, and it's good. That's a big hoop right before halftime, 17-14 Hillers. Trying to work, looking for a seam in the zone. Holliston shutting those seams down. There's a deep three, and it's good by Davies. Really nice form on that. Davies over to Tegan, that's short. Holly's tough, she's a strong girl. Rips the ball out of the Holliston player's hands. Davies with a deep three, and it's good. She's just getting her rhythm down. That's her third three of the night, I believe.
The Hiller girls took the win 44-28. Elena Davies dropped 18 points for the Hillers and collected 7 rebounds in the win. The Hillers followed up with a 46-32 road win over Westwood on Friday, January 5th. The Hillers have now won 5 straight games.
Saturday morning cartoons are back. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., HCAM's Toon Time has an hour of classic cartoons, from Betty Boop to Superman to Popeye to Bugs Bunny and more. You'll see your old favorites and discover new ones. So tune in to Toon Time, Saturdays at 8, and start your weekend off with a laugh.
Actually, just the glory. We asked 100 fourth graders, what is a state in the western part of the United States?
Come on, world map, where are you? Confident.
Confident?
Very confident, apparently.
Fabulous. I'm Sidney Donda, and I'll see you there.